Hey, it's Brian Late back with another look at the movies. It's Brain Muffin at the movies. So, Star Wars news. This leaks come out like daily now. A new leak has fans worried Star Wars 9 will have another Death Star adjacent superweapon. Return of the Jedi 1.1.5. Well, the first one was The New Hope 1.0, 1.2, 2.0. I don't know if it was 2.0. It was. You would imagine that after two Death Stars and Starkiller Base, basically a bigger Death Star, and the bad guys in Star Wars universe would realize that a creative massive superweapon is never really an evil plot. Well, supposedly they're based on some of the Nazis. The Nazis kept coming up with these big, the Germans, let's say the Germans, World War I, they had Big Bertha and all these big artillery shell guns. And then they had massive weapons near the end of World War II. They had larger Panzer tanks and stuff like that. And we beat them by having lots of small things, which is kind of how their Death Stars get beat, by lots of small things. Anyway, Jar Jar Abrams is pretty much just copying. He's probably just going to copy Return of the Jedi anyway. He copied A New Hope the first time around. So why not copy it again? It worked, didn't it? Not $2 billion. That's who's saying it's good. Anyway, I'm not reading the article. I'm just kind of wandering off into space with my brain. It's going off into outer space. As my brother's band teacher once said many, many years ago. A new leak of Star Wars 9 concept art details this scene featuring Kylo Ren and plans of a new Death Star contraption. Kylo Ren inside his throne room, assumed to be the headquarters of the First Order. Excuse me. Viewing a hologram form of a device held in his hand. Hall appears to be examining three large super weapons that are in a cylindrical shape with an enormous... I heard a rumor that they were going to have three, and I thought someone was joking because they put the three in the shape of the Mickey ears. Oh my gosh. Was it true? Actually, I thought someone was making a joke. I didn't think it was a rumor. Cylindrical shape with an enormous engine on each side of each super weapon. Destroying. The engine burning is colored red, and the blast from the bottom of these three massive is colored, of course, why not? Impacting a surface causing astronomical destruction. Parts of the weapon seem to be under construction and not finished. Oh, geez. As fans have noted, this description would be a world of Devastators from the Star Wars extended universe. Could be a world of Devastators. As the Star Wars Wiki describes these things, although it is debatable, and the world of the Devastators were deadlier than the Death Star. They were undoubtedly more efficient. The Death Star could merely destroy worlds, while the world Devastators could use a target world's materials resources to the Empire's benefit. The Devastator's primary tactic was to land on the surface of the planet, and there its mighty tractor beam projectors would literally tear the planet beneath it apart, and thus making them planet killers. Thus, the world Devastators function similar to the Death Star Forge, which are hard materials from nearby astronomical objects. Yeah, but if you land, you'd have to be massive to land on a planet and then absorb it like that. The much wasteful version. Anyway, many of these leaks could be taken with a grain of salt. It won't be surprising to see JJ rehash other tired Star Wars trends after this after his all too faithful Force Awakens reboot. Reboot is right. And I called it, and before it came out and people lambasted me on YouTube. Just go find them. Go find the comments. It's amazing what people were saying. Elsewhere, other Star Wars rumors seem to hint that Darth Vader will make an appearance in the upcoming movie. It's really starting to sound like Return of the Jedi 1.5. Yeah, it is. And it wouldn't surprise me. It actually would surprise me, and no comments. It would actually surprise me if all these rumors were wrong and it's just JJ trolling us. I would love it. I would love to see JJ Jar Jar trolling us, saying, haha, I got you. You believe the leaks. I got actually a nice, unique story that wraps up this whole series in a bow. Not the going against our expectations like Roundhead Ryan Johnson did, but just something newer. But they had a chance with they could have just done the Thrawn trilogy and be done with it, but no, they had to dump all that. So yeah, it would not surprise me if this was true. I would actually be surprised they did something original. And so this is Matt Miller, Esquire.com. So what do you think? You think this is just a bunch of hooey? Do you think this is just a bunch of trolling on Jar Jar's part, or do you think they're just sticking to the formula of copy the original movies? I mean, their target audience did cry for Szechuan sauce that never existed, but Rick and Morty fooled them, and they had to have it, and they were crying all about it. So McDonald's had to create something that never existed. So there we go. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for clicking like. Let me know what you think. You think this is just a big bunch of hooey, or you think it's really going to happen? Let's have that discussion. Bye.